So it's 8:27, half 8. Don't know if you can hear that tapping. Banging tapping sound. That is my next door neighbour banging and tapping on the larder cupboard wall in the kitchen. This is what he does most mornings to try and wake me up. I was asleep. He woke me up with this banging and tapping. Some mornings he also shouts along with the banging and tapping. He shouts things like wakey wakey and some really nasty name calling. And it seems this is triggered by the noise of the upstairs neighbours washing machine that was on several times yesterday, and it was on quite late, like gone 12 o'clock at night last night. So it seems this is a response to that, that's the excuse he gives to the council and the police when we ring them. And when the council and police go and speak to him, he says, oh yeah, I got annoyed because they had their washing machine on late at night. And I have said to the council and the police, we did not have our washing machine on. You'll see from the videos I took last night that I did not have my washing machine on. It was not spinning when that noise was happening above. So there's the proof that it's not my washing machine making that noise. But yeah, this banging and tapping's gonna go on most of the morning, because he has learnt my routine, my normal routine, which is I wake up between 7 and 8. I then come sit in the living room in my chair while my brain sort of wakes up and whatnot, because I'm not very functional in the morning because of my cognitive disabilities. It takes my brain a while to figure out which way is up. So yeah, I sit in my chair while I wake up a little bit, and then around 9 o'clock-ish I go and make a cup of tea, and then I drink my tea, take my medication. Sorry, my cat is being annoying. But yeah, I take my medication, and then I'll sit in my chair waiting for the medication to kick in. Then around 10 o'clock I feed my cat and I start to get on with my day. That's my normal routine, but that has all changed lately. I've had to change that routine because of the neighbour. Because every time I go in the kitchen in the morning, he's there in his larder cupboard waiting for me, because he knows my routine, and he can hear me enter the kitchen. Then he starts shouting abuse at me. And the abuse is so loud, the shouting is so loud, it's like he's in the room with me. So yeah, it's very nerve-wracking. And it's very annoying because it's affecting my mental health, not being able to follow my normal routine because of my learning difficulties and my learning disabilities, the autism and everything like that. I need routine to function correctly, and I'm a stickler for my routine. It's on an OCD level. You know, if I don't do my routine correctly, if I don't follow my routines, I get confused for the rest of the day, and I'm not sure. You know, it affects my cognitive abilities. It affects my executive functioning. You know, it affects a lot, and then I struggle to function throughout the day. So yeah, and that affects my mental health greatly. So yeah, I've changed my routine to avoid getting abused in the morning. So now I'm taking my meds later than I should be. Some mornings I'm not even getting a cup of tea. I'm not even managing to access food and drink in the morning, you know? I have to wait till the afternoon, which is no good as well because I need to, with some of the meds I need to take them on a full stomach. I need to take them with food, and there he goes, tapping and banging again. This will go on and off all morning. And I think the reason he's doing it is he's trying to elicit a response from me, maybe, or he's trying to encourage me to come in to go into my kitchen, or it's just he's just trying to taunt me. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know how loud that is coming through on the phone, but sat here, I have my kitchen door closed. Sat here, I can hear it quite loud. It sounds like there's someone actually in my kitchen banging. So yeah, I don't know how well this phone microphone is picking it up. But yeah, that's what I got to put up with this morning. Usually between 10 and 11 o'clock ish, he gets bored of doing that and he'll go away. I don't know what he does, whether he goes out or whatever, but he goes quiet. So I sneak into the kitchen, make myself a cup of tea and maybe something to eat, and then I'll come in the living room and I'll take my meds and eat my food and drink my tea and stuff. So yeah, the meds I'm taking, some of the meds I'm taking, I do need to take on a full stomach. Otherwise, it could cause issues with my stomach, cause damage to my stomach and my stomach lining. I also take a lot of blood pressure medication and a lot of heart medication because of my heart issues. And some of those I need to take with food. There are some weird noises going on. I think he's in his bathroom now, banging. But yeah, And yeah, I need to take these meds as well, especially the heart meds. I need to take them at certain times, because they help control what is going on with my heart. And they keep me calm and relaxed. Without the meds, I start to get extreme dizzy spells. I get erratic heartbeat, and my blood pressure raises really high. My heart feels like it's trying to break its way out of my chest. It's beating so erratically and so heavy and so fast. I feel nauseous. I start to faint. It's not good. I need my heart meds. So in the mornings at the moment, I'm sat here waiting to enter the kitchen so I can access food and drink, so I can take my meds. I'm sat here with dizzy spells because I've not taken my meds when I should be. So, yeah. And that's the thing, I don't think the authorities, the housing office, and the police, I don't think they fully grasp or fully understand my autism. And to them, when I'm saying, oh, he keeps tapping on the wall, they're like, so ignore it. Someone like me can't just ignore it, especially when usually that tapping is followed by verbal abuse. And on occasion, he's been to my door trying to break into my flat while shouting threats. That tapping, to me, I see that as a precursor to him coming and attacking me, and I don't think the housing officers and the police fully grasp how autism works and how the autistic mind works and how fight or flight works in autism, in an autism person. Because I struggle to regulate my emotions and stuff. And I struggle to regulate other people's emotions, and I struggle to regulate other people's body language. I struggle to understand social cues. Like, my brain just doesn't understand humanity, basically. Doesn't understand humans as a whole. And yeah, so, and because I don't outwardly freak out and all the time, I bottle it and I mask, because that's what I've done my whole life. That's my coping mechanism. That's what I do. Because that's the only way I know how to deal with these complex emotions and stuff. Because to me, they are complex. So I bottle them up and I mask. And when I'm dealing with authorities or officials, I have learned skills in dealing with those people, because I've had to deal with people like that my whole life around my disabilities. So I know that when I'm speaking to someone like that, I have to remain calm. I have to try and hold an intelligent conversation with them. Because if I'm melting down and rocking backwards and forwards and just shut down, I'm not going to get my point across. So it's sort of like a learnt skill to mask while I am speaking with these people. Then when these people are gone, that's when I melt down. So yeah. And I don't think they kind of understand that, because when they speak to me, they think, oh, she's quite calm and collected. You know, she's able to hold a conversation with us. It can't be that bad. You know, so it's almost like I've got to freak out in front of them for them to understand the gravity of the situation. But then past experiences, when I've done that, when I freaked out in front of the officials or the authorities or whatever, it hasn't gone well for me. So yeah, I can't win either way. So, but yeah, that's what's happening this morning. He seems to have stopped banging and tapping for the moment. He'll probably start again in a minute. But yeah, that's my morning. I'm going to carry on filming things when they happen, because I want to document everything. So I'm going to be filming whenever I enter the kitchen or bathroom or whatever. I'm going to film, and if something happens, I will add it to the video. Because I feel like I need to document what's happening, because nobody believes me. The officials don't believe me, and they just keep gaslighting me. So there we go. Okay, so can you hear that banging? That is my next door neighbour. That is his reaction to me making a cup of tea this morning. I wasn't even noisy making the cup of tea. Didn't even use the taps because the kettle was already filled. So today is the 9th of January 2023, and it is 19 minutes past 8 in the morning. So I was woken up at like 7:30ish by shouting. I don't know if it was him shouting next door, or whether it was someone else in the tower block, or whether it was someone outside. I don't know, but I could hear shouting and it woke me up. So I got out of bed, went to use the toilet, and then went to make a cup of tea. And no noise at all while I was making the cup of tea. Came, sat down, switched my computer on, and went to get started on doing some video editing, and he started banging on the wall. Yeah. So I think that's his retaliation to me making a cup of tea. I can still hear a bit of banging. But yeah, see, every time I go use my kitchen, I get trouble from him. And I'm not sure why he's doing it. I've not done anything to bother him, you know. Yesterday I did a load of washing, a couple of loads of washing during the day, I might add. And yeah, nothing from him. No shouting, no screaming. He was completely silent. But today I get up out of bed, I make a cup of tea, and he starts banging on the wall. So yeah. So I've got some footage at the moment that I'm going to be editing, hopefully into a video. I've took over the past week or two, a week or so, I've been trying to capture what's been going on with him. So I've got footage of me just doing normal stuff around the house, or me just getting up or being woken up by the neighbour shouting and banging. So I'm going to try and edit it into a video, and I'm going to add a few of the clips, sound clips from a couple of months ago, some of the recordings we took before, because I have so many recordings and so much stuff that I can't just put it all together in one big video, because the video would be too long and then it would be too big of a file to upload to anything. So I thought if I just document from now what's going on, like vlog it, then in those vlogs I can just add one or two of the past recordings of what was going on, you know, and I will date everything that I put on there, so yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna try and get these videos edited. But yeah, so a couple of minutes after that video I've just did, where he was banging, I've just heard him shouting. He's been shouting quite a bit. Let's go in the kitchen and see. Nope, he's shut up now. So this is a difficult bit of trying to capture it, because if I wait until he starts shouting and screaming the abuse and whatnot, and then I start the video, by the time I've got my video app open on my phone and start recording, he shut up. So then I miss it. So this is why now what I'm doing is, if I need to go in my kitchen, I just start filming as soon as I go in there. Because then whilst I'm moving around the kitchen, making my tea, making my food, doing the laundry, whatever, if he hears me and he comes to his kitchen, into his larder, and he starts kicking off and shouting abuse, I'm already recording and I'm going to capture it, you know. If he doesn't start shouting abuse and I don't capture it, then, you know, I just delete that video. There you go. Did you hear that bang? I'm not sure why he's doing this. I think it might be because my partner went in the toilet a minute ago, I think. So yeah, my partner used the toilet a minute ago, and I think this is why he's banging and shouting, maybe. I don't know. I've just been sat at my computer working on video editing. So yeah, he's banging on this wall, I believe. The wall by his sink. I don't know what he's using to bang on the wall with. I'm not sure. Maybe a hammer, I don't know. Rolling pin. No idea. So let me check what the time is. So it was the 9th of January, wasn't it, today? 2023. And the time is 8:47 in the morning. So I must remember the date and time in these videos as well. Say the date and time in them. I mean, some people might say it sounds like someone may be doing DIY or something, but it doesn't sound, I mean, it sounds like a hammer, maybe, but it doesn't sound like he's doing actual DIY. It just sounds like he's randomly banging on the wall to be annoying, because I can hear shouting as well whilst he's doing it. And then he stops and I can hear more shouting. And then he starts banging again. It sounds like he's not shouting at me at the moment. It sounds like he's having an argument with someone in his flat. So there might be someone in there trying to talk him out of doing what he's doing. Which has happened before. He had a woman in there before with him, and we could hear them arguing, and we heard her shouting at him to stop banging and shouting and to stop shouting abuse. And she sounded quite upset, and she was saying to him, look, I've got to live here too, you know. So I think there might be someone in there. I don't know whether it's a girlfriend or a family member or whatever, I don't know. But someone sometimes there with him trying to talk him out of doing what he's doing. But so I think that might be the case today. Because it does sound like he's not shouting at me at the moment. He's shouting at someone in his flat, because I can hear faintly a second voice. I can't hear what's being shouted or what's being said, because it's quite muffled. Because he's not actually in the larder shouting through the larder wall today. So, yeah. So I think it's going to be quite an active day today. Yeah. Don't know if you can hear. That rumbling noise. That is the upstairs neighbour's machine. My machine finished earlier. There's my machine, it's not going. The light is still flashing because it is switched on at the wall. Because I haven't got around to taking the washing out and hanging it up yet. I'm going to do that in a minute. But yeah, that is the upstairs neighbour's machine. The floor is vibrating and the walls are vibrating as well. Next door neighbour has been banging and shouting at me and John because of this noise that upstairs is making. The council did come in and they said they did something to the upstairs neighbour's machine to try and quiet it down. I believe it's quietened it a little bit, muffled it a little bit, but still it's very loud. It sounds like one of those big army helicopters flying over, basically. That's what it sounds like. And the floor is vibrating. The walls are vibrating. My kitchen side is vibrating a little. Yeah. What time is it now? Let me check the time. Again, it's the 5th of January, I know that. Time is 16:16. So there you go. Yeah. So, lots been happening today with the neighbour, but yeah. So it's 6:25. You hear the rumbling? That is upstairs on their washing machine. My washing machine is not going. It's switched on at the wall, but it's not actually doing a cycle because the cycle finished earlier today. So yeah, upstairs it's had their machine on at least 3 or 4 times today. And usually when they have it on like that, they'll have it going all night as well, so. And this usually triggers my next door neighbour to start terrorising me and my partner John over it. When clearly you can tell it's not coming from our flat, it's coming from upstairs flat. But he decides he's gonna blame us for it and terrorise us for it. I'm a bit worried at the moment because I am home alone because my partner John, who is also my carer, he's gone out for the evening to go meet up with some friends, which he deserves time away from me because he does a lot as my carer to help me, so he deserves time to himself on occasion to de-stress. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried because if the neighbour decides he's going to cause a problem over the noise of upstairs' washing machine, he, you know, if he decides he's going to kick off over that, he may come to the door. Now obviously if he does, I'm going to video him through the peephole again, like I did before, and I'm going to call the police straight away. The front door is locked, there's no way he can get through it, so I can hear him shouting now. I don't know if you can hear that from here. Yeah, he's shouting and banging. I'll go back in the kitchen. That's next door's music. He's just turned it up. floor and the wall is vibrating from the sound of the music. It sounds like he has his speakers right next to the wall. Right next to the wall here, or even in the cupboard. Yeah. So this is going to be my night now. He's going to be kicking off all night over this. Yeah. I'm going to go back in the living room. So I don't want... Oh, he stopped the music. No, it's turning back on again. But yeah, I'm going to close the kitchen door because I don't want him to hear me talking. But yeah, so this is why he was a bit reluctant to go out this evening because of all that's been happening today with the neighbour. But I said to him no, because if you cancel your plans and you stay in, then the neighbour is winning with his horrible games he's playing. You know, and John was very reluctant to go out because he didn't want to leave me on my own with, just in case the neighbour did decide to come to the door or something and start trouble. But in the end, John did go out. I convinced him to go out. Earlier, after John left, a little while after he left, I did hear my neighbour come out of his flat and he was hanging around the hallway, and I could hear him talking to someone in the hallway. Whether he was talking to another neighbour or he had just answered his door and was talking to someone at the door, I don't know. But I could hear him wandering around in the hallway talking outside my front door. So, and I believe he's friends with the neighbours across the way from me. So he may have been going to them and at their front door and talking to them, I don't know. I didn't go near my front door, I didn't go and look out the peephole because I was a bit too worried to. But he sounded upset and annoyed. So, yeah. So I'm a bit worried that it's going to escalate tonight. I'm not going to call John back because he deserves time to himself and time to enjoy himself. He doesn't get much of that. And with his mental health lately, where it's been so bad because of what's been going on, he deserves to take his mind off of it for a bit. So going out and socialising with friends and stuff, that should help his mental health. So yeah. I can hear that music from in here still. Don't know if you can hear it. It's like very bassy, like gangster rap style music. I don't know. But yeah, probably going to be more videos tonight, so I'll keep you posted. So it's 11:51 at night, almost 12 o'clock at night, and the upstairs neighbours have their machine on again. Don't know if you could hear the rumbling. But yeah. This now is probably going to cause my next door neighbour to start his abuse again tomorrow morning, because that's usually what happens when upstairs has their machine on this late. Me and John get the backlash from it, from our neighbour, because of it the next morning. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be another day filled with abuse from our neighbour. Yeah, so there you go. So it's 8th of January, so around about 1:30ish. Upstairs neighbour has their machine on. See, mine is not on. There's nothing in it. It's switched on at the wall still, because I did my washing earlier this morning and I haven't switched it off yet. But you might be able to hear the upstairs machine. And I can just about hear as well my next door neighbour shouting. It's very faint. Sounds like the machine's getting louder. Yeah. I think I can hear my neighbour talking to someone. Not sure. But yeah, that's the sound of the machine. The upstairs machine. Council told us they okay, my neighbour next door was getting louder with his shouting. But the council housing people told us that they had been upstairs and sorted out the issue with their machine, and they said that it shouldn't be a problem anymore. So, but clearly it is a problem still, you know. I mean, the sound of their machine doesn't bother me. I don't care, you know, whatever. What does bother me is the reaction my next door neighbour gives to me and John over the noise of the upstairs tumble dryer. That's what bothers me. Because he knows it's not us. It's been proven to him by the council and the police. They've shown him videos that me and John have taken, where you can hear the noise in the video, but you can see my machine in the video and my machine is off. And it's quite clear from the video that the sound is coming from upstairs, and the council and the police have shown him that video, but still he blames us for it and kicks off at us for it, you know. So there you go. It's not my machine. The clicking you can hear in the background, that's my pressure cooker. I'm cooking dinner. Yeah, so and usually when my upstairs neighbours put their washing machine on, they'll have it on several times throughout the day, and then they'll carry on throughout the night up until sometimes like 3 o'clock in the morning. Which I fully understand people getting annoyed with this kind of noise at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's fully understandable, getting annoyed with that. But shouting abuse and threats at an innocent people over it, that's a bit silly. And he should go the right way about the situation and complain to the council, not get abusive and violent towards other residents. The machine's slowing down now and stopping. Yeah, there you go. So, I'm going to try and explain this whole upstairs washing machine situation, because it's a bit confusing, and there's been like miscommunication between the authorities and me and the next door neighbour and the upstairs neighbour, and yeah, it's a bit confusing, and I probably won't be able to give dates and times of when stuff happened because of my learning difficulties and stuff. I'm terrible at remembering times and dates and stuff, but I might be able to explain it a bit better, this whole washing machine situation. So basically, our next door neighbour, the one we've been having all the problems with, back when this all started, over 15 months ago, it all started because he would put his music on all day, all night, full blast. I mean, full blast as in bass speakers, and the walls were literally shaking from the bass. And it was like he was running a nightclub from his flat, and he'd had his music on for 2 weeks straight, non-stop. I mean, non-stop, all day, all night, and we were losing sleep over it. So we made complaints, and I believe other neighbours made complaints too. We complained to the council, to the environmental health, to 101, the police line, to try and sort this out. We went through the proper channels to deal with the situation. Now, he had only had his music on in retaliation to the upstairs neighbour and their noisy washing machine, apparently. Now, upstairs, yes, their washing machine is very noisy. Most of the time it sounds like there is like a big army helicopter flying overhead when their washing machine's going off. That's how loud it is. Such a loud rumble, and it makes the whole floor and the ceiling and the walls vibrate when it's going off. So yeah, he was apparently annoyed with that noise. So in retaliation, he put his music on non-stop all day, all night, full blast. Right, which is really silly, because trying to stop a noise by adding noise doesn't really work, So yeah, we complained, and other neighbours complained as well, I believe. he was sent letters, and then he got annoyed because he was sent letters, and because of this he started shouting abuse out of his windows and in his flat. Not at anyone specifically, but in general at all the neighbours he was aiming it at, shouting things like, oh, grassing on me because I'm making noise, all you lot make noise, stuff like that, shouting racist abuse at passers-by, even at children. Yep, at children. One day I had to call the police because I was in the kitchen making a cup of tea. I heard him open his window and start shouting. I looked out of the window and there was a young mother. She had a baby in a pushchair that she was pushing, and she had a little toddler which was about 4 or 5 roughly, maybe a bit younger, walking along behind her, and I heard him shouting racist abuse. Now at first I thought, oh, maybe he's shouting at the mother, but he wasn't. I looked, when I saw the mother was white, and the child was, I don't know the proper term, but the child had darker skin. And yeah, he was shouting racist abuse, the P word, stuff like that, the N word, at a 5-year-old, and I was so disgusted. The poor mother, she was disgusted, she was shocked. I mean, she grabbed her child and hurried off with the 5-year-old and the baby in the pushchair, looking horrified. The child looked horrified as well, looked scared, because there's this man shouting horrible, hateful language at her. Like, it's disgusting, So I called that into the police because I thought, no, that's a hate crime. That's horrible, a hate crime towards a young child. It's disgusting. Now, that incident was in retaliation because the night before, our upstairs neighbour had their washing machine on late at night. That was his reaction to that. So I started videoing what was going on, the noise of upstairs' washing machine and his reactions to it. We were making complaints about it to the council as well, and the police and everything. We sent them videos of the videos we had taken to prove what was going on. The council called mediation and set up mediation between us and our neighbour. And me and John asked, can we stay anonymous during the mediation? The mediation people said yes. If you want to be anonymous, we can keep your name out of it, your address out of it. We don't need to tell him who's complained or whatever. We'll keep you completely anonymous. So we were like, yes, can we do that, please? And they were like, yeah, sure. So they rang him first and were mediating with him, because we didn't want to be in a room with him, and then they rang us and spoke to us and got our side of the story, then went back to him and then come back to us, and and during the mediation they told him that it was us that complained. They shouldn't have done that. It was illegal for them to do that. They gave him our address and everything and told him that it was us. Now, before they had told him it was us, he had told them that he had told the mediation people that he was getting annoyed with upstairs. He didn't say us, he said upstairs. And he gave their door number as well. And he said they have a really noisy tumble dryer or washing machine or whatever, and it's keeping me up at night. That's what I'm annoyed about. And they said, right, okay. Then they told him that it was us that complained about his music and about him shouting abuse. He then changed his story and said, oh no, it's not upstairs with the noisy washing machine, it's next door. He said to the mediation, I thought it was upstairs originally, but now I know it's next door. After they had told him that me and John had complained. So since then, the abuse and the threats and the vileness from him is all been aimed at me and John. And he's been getting worse and worse. And since then, we have taken videos to prove that it's not our machine, because the council housing people, the housing officer, came in and they wanted to take my washing machine away. And I said to her, why do you want to take my washing machine? And she said, well, because your washing machine, apparently your neighbour says it's your washing machine making all the noise. And I said, no, it's not my washing machine. I can prove to you that it's not my washing machine. So me and John showed her all the videos we had taken. And in the videos you can clearly see, because we show our washing machine in the video switched off. And then you can hear in the background of the video a really loud rumbling noise. Sounds like a helicopter. And I said, there you go, that's the noise upstairs washing machine makes. And she said, oh, really? I was like, yeah, that is it. That's the noise he's complaining about. It is upstairs. So she said, right, okay, I can see from these videos that is not your washing machine. I was like, exactly. I will admit, when I turn my washing machine on, the plumbing makes a hissing noise because of the cold water plumbing in this block and the water pressure issue, and because it's old plumbing. So when I switch my washing machine on and it starts to fill with water, it makes the plumbing make a hissing noise. But that is unavoidable. And I showed her my cold water tap. I said, look, if I turn my cold water tap on, I get that same hissing. So I turned the tap on, it started hissing, and she went, oh my God, that's really loud. I was like, yeah, his makes the same noise. We can hear when he's turned his tap on because it hisses as well. Every cold water tap in this building makes that noise. And she was like, it shouldn't do. I well, it does, because it's a water pressure thing, because the tank is on the roof. And she said, right, I'm going to get a plumber in to check out this, see if they can fix that hissing noise. I said, they won't be able to do anything about it. And she goes, we'll get them in to have a look anyway. And then she said as well, what we do is we go upstairs and we'll speak with them about their washing machine. So I was like, okay, cool. The plumbers came out, and the plumber took one look, and he goes, no, I can't fix that. It's a water pressure issue because of the tank on the roof, and it's old plumbing. I was like, exactly, that's what we told the housing officer. And John said to him, well, you write a report after every job, don't you? And he said, yeah, we have to. And John said, well, can you make sure that report gets to Julie Osmond, our housing officer, to prove to her that nothing can be done about the hissing noise? He said, yeah, sure. So there you go, we proved to her there that nothing can be done about that. And then she apparently had told upstairs that they weren't allowed to put their washing machine on after 7 o'clock in the evening, which they have ignored, quite obviously. They put it on at like gone 12 o'clock in at night. You know, so and she took some of the videos we had taken and showed it to next door and said, there you go, look, it's not their washing machine. There's proof there that it's not theirs. The police showed him some of the videos and said to him, look, it's not their washing machine. You can't keep kicking off at them every time you hear that noise because it's not them doing it. He got himself, he ignored all of that, even after they had proven to him that it wasn't us. He ignored that. And you've probably seen the clip in the other video of him at my front door where I filmed through the peephole, and he was shouting and raving about a washing machine being on. And in that clip you can hear the fact that there is no washing machine noise in the background in my flat. But he was still shouting about it. And he got arrested for that. And the police spoke with him and said, yeah, they've proven to us and the council, they've got loads of video evidence to prove that it's not their washing machine. We have shown you that. And they said to him he needs to stop attacking us over it. He has ignored all of that. And still, the last couple of days, he's been attacking us over the noise. So it's just got so stupid. He knows that it is not our washing machine. He knows that for a fact. But he's still choosing to attack us over it. This is what makes me think that it's the reason why he's attacking us and he's being abusive towards us and threatening towards us. I don't think it's anything to do with the washing machine noise. I think he's just got a grudge against us because he found out we made a complaint about his music 15 months ago. And he also has a grudge against us because we are disabled. And the whole washing machine stupidness that he goes on about, I think that is just a reason he gives when the police and the council come knocking. You know, that's an excuse he gives when they come knocking his door and saying, look, you know, you're kicking off again, what's going on? I think that's just the excuse he chooses to use. Oh, they had their washing machine on late at night and it annoyed me. And they say to him, you've been shouting hateful, racist stuff, you've been shouting, you know, all this abuse. And he says, I might swear a little bit, but I've not shouted any of the abuse. And I've got clips and video evidence of him shouting the abuse that I've shown the council and the police, and they've told me none of them are good enough as evidence, that they can't hear it. Even though I can hear it plainly in the video, in the footage and in the recordings and stuff,
They said it's not good enough. They can't really hear it. So we don't have the proof that he's shouting this stuff, apparently. So they've told me, the council and the police, the council have said, the housing officer, she said it's your word against his. You know, I've got no proof that he's actually shouted this stuff to you. And I've sent her loads of recordings of him shouting racist abuse, shouting stuff about my disabilities, you know, hateful words about my disabilities. And most recently, the homophobic abuse. You know, shouting threats to kill me, threats to stab me, threats to beat me up, threats to kick my front door in. You know, and even in the clip that I took through the peephole at the front door, he's shouting abuse. And I've sent that to the council officer and the police as well. So, yeah. But there you go. And still, to this day, we're getting issues with upstairs putting their washing machine on. And usually the next day, me and John get trouble from our next door neighbour about it. You know? Like the banging and the tapping and shouting of abuse. Trying to wake us up early in the morning and stuff. You know, so yeah, that is the whole washing machine issue. I hope I've explained it well enough. So yeah, it was the mediation people that put it in his head that it was our washing machine. It was the mediation people that gave him the information about who made complaints after being asked to be kept anonymous. So they broke the rules there. Even the police have said, yeah, that's not right, they broke the rules there. If you wanted to be anonymous, they should have kept you anonymous. By the law, they should do that. And I was like, well, they haven't. So, but yeah, that's the whole washing machine thing.
Okay, 10 o'clock at night, sat here playing video games, keeping ourselves to ourselves, almost 11 o'clock. Our washing machine is not on. It is, well, it's on, but it's not working. It's not doing anything. That is open. That's the dishwasher, not doing anything. These are our glasses, which are shaking from upstairs. Tumble dryer. Not us. Not us.
Should we jump from that here?
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Oh, I mean,